Welcome to another adventure on the HO scale Burlington Northern Railroad set in 1973. I'm Burr, Stewart, your host, and this is just a quick 5-minute video showing a meet where two trains passed in Burlington, Washington a few days ago. These three locomotives were rebuilt by Brian Elchlepp, who lives nearby, and he brought them over to play with. And I also recently got a directional microphone, so you can hear the sounds of these locomotives pretty well. Just for fun, I also set up the GoPro camera on a little tripod, so we've got a picture view for today's movie. There's the little tripod. The first locomotive is a GP10 number 1422, which lasted all the way into the BNSF merger. The next one is a rebuilt GP9. And the third locomotive, number 2551, is a rebuilt GP35. All of these locomotives have Soundtrack Tsunami-2 sound decoders in them installed by Brian Elchlepp. This train is pulling into the main line at Burlington, while a single GP9 heading up the Oiler is pulling southbound on the siding. You can see Mount Baker there on the backdrop, which is a very prominent volcanic peak in the Pacific Northwest, very near Burlington. As you can see in the inset, our meet between these two trains is taking place on the right-hand switch, which would be the south switch of this siding. And we'll just pan over there and take a look at the action. I have just enough time to flip the switch there. I guess you could call this a rolling meet, since both trains are rolling. This BN GP9 hasn't been repainted from its original Great Northern colors from the 50s when it was actually built. But this is why I really enjoy modeling 1973, because the Burlington Northern took 7 years to repaint all its diesels into the now familiar Burlington Northern green colors. Well, it looks like our meet between those two trains was successful. Now our train is crossing the Skagit River bridges and passing the Mount Vernon station. I mentioned before that this train was the Oiler. It's really a combination between the Oiler and the Burlington local, because it's taking cars from the Burlington Yard, Mount Vernon area down to the Everett Bayside Yard and on into the Inner Bay Yard in Seattle. So it's quite a fun train to run. The prototype Oiler used to turn around in Everett, but we combined those two trains into one here on our operating facsimile of the real Burlington Northern. Whether you followed that or not, the bottom line here is we can see our nice red caboose, and we know that the train is heading off into the sunset. That caboose, by the way, is an Athearn model that was custom painted by someone at a swap meet, and I picked it up for a song, but it was nicely lettered for the Great Northern. Number X100, I believe. One of these days we'll get around to renumbering it for the Burlington Northern too, but everything takes time. So I hope you've enjoyed this little 5-minute meet, and we'll be back in the future with more videos of operations on the Burlington Northern. And in the meantime, I wish you much fun with trains.